In less than 5 days, U.S. President Donald Trump will land in South Korea, the second stop on his Asia tour. While here, he and President Moon will have to thrash out some tough issues, not least the burden of South Korea's defense and bilateral trade. And a final answer from the White House, President Trump will not be visiting the DMZ. Our Blue House correspondent Hwang Hojun has more.
U.S. President Donald Trump will not visit the demilitarized zone after all, and consequently, he'll be breaking with a tradition followed by every U.S. president since Ronald Reagan, minus the elder George Bush, who did go to the DMZ. A White House official told reporters Trump skipping the DMZ due to time constraints, but also called the standard DMZ visits a little bit of a cliche. Many had expected Trump might go as a projection of strength amid escalating tension between Washington and Pyongyang following 11 missile and nuclear provocations since President Moon took office in May. The White House official also confirmed that President Trump will go to Camp Humphreys instead, an American military base about 60 kilometers south of Seoul, which President Moon Jae-in recommended that Trump visit. The official said it made sense for the president to see the base, not only because he would have a chance to address U.S. troops and their families, but also to highlight South Korea's role in sharing the burden of the alliance. President Trump has been arguing that South Korea is not paying enough for the presence of U.S. forces. But as a matter of fact, the total cost of the installation of Camp Humphreys was more than $14 billion, with Seoul shouldering more than half of the total cost. An official at Cheongwade had expressed hopes before that Trump's visiting the base in Pyeongtaek would lead him to realize how much South Korea was doing for its ally. Another hurdle that both presidents will be looking at is the Korea-US FTA. The Trump administration has continued to demand a renegotiation to address its growing trade deficit with South Korea in goods, even floating the idea of a complete withdrawal from the agreement. Seoul confirmed the two countries have entered into negotiations and are considering all possibilities. So while the two leaders will definitely be discussing how Seoul and Washington will approach Pyongyang and its future provocations, there are growing concerns that thorny issues could put pressure on the two countries' long-standing alliance. Hwang Hojun, Arirang News.